today.
Oh, you were ready. I wasn't. I got out of the car and I was like, whoosh, the wind all of a sudden
It's
picked up.
dropped, hasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
And the
I
temperature,
think
yeah.
February is gonna kill off all the
Winter's back.
mosquito
Winter's
bugs,
back,
yeah.
yeah.
Finally we'll get those hard frosts, yeah.
There's our silver lining.
Yeah, I always think that when I'm like enduring February cold, like
Mhm.
maybe we won't have as many bugs over the summer. That's the only bright spot of
That's right.
freezing cold weather.
So I think Marcia is planning on getting here around 7:30. Did she
Okay.
call you today at all?
She talked to Daisy.
Okay.
And said she would be here.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
And we sent her the information.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hey, James. How are you?
Super duper.
Good. Am I crowding your space?
Stu Chapman is also coming at 7:30.
Oh, okay.
To be available for our second item on the closed meeting.
Excellent.
But he may not be available for February 13th. He said he was not available, so Tony was talking to him, but I don't think we're mad about that.
Okay. Well,
'Cause
if
I
he's
think-
here tonight, that I think.
Well, I think you'd want him for a public discussion.
Okay. And he's it, right? There's no associates
He
or?
doesn't have a number two.
Yeah.
Tony and I were just saying that he really, if anybody needs a number two, it's Stu.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how he gets everywhere.
Right.
So let's chat a little bit after
Hello.
tonight and see what you want to do. But
Okay.
You might see if he can be available by phone maybe, or,
Okay. He didn't say what was.
no, but I thought when he's here, we could twist his arm.
That's right. Pin him down.
Stu?
As long as
Stu?
we have it.
Oh, Stewie.
That's right. Okay,
We
good.
want you more than it seems like you want us now. You need to show up.
And Michael Mars will be here at 8,
Eight-ish.
8-ish?
Or we'll
Okay.
call in, depending on if he gets jammed up, because he's
Okay.
covering another meeting tonight.
Okay.
But he thinks he's going to be out and on the road coming back here and be here by 8.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah, he's going to text me when he gets out of his meeting, give me an ETA.
Okay. Hi, Jim. How are you? Oh.
I think this is yours.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Nicole. I think I didn't say hi before.
Oh yeah, I know. You just slipped in. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Yeah. I get to see your wife tomorrow.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Be nice to her.
Always,
Always, always.
always, always. All right, it's 7. Okay. Good evening. I'm calling to order this meeting of the Western Springs Village Board of Trustees to order on January 23rd, 2023 at 7 p.m. to honor our nation's heroes and especially to honor the men and women in uniform who serve and protect our community, please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Clerk Timmick, please call the roll.
Vice President Gallagher. Trustee Chen.
Here.
Trustee Fink.
Here.
Trustee John.
Here.
Trustee Lewis.
Here.
Trustee Rudolph.
Here.
Trustee Terrell.
Here.
All present.
Thank you. Having read the agenda, does any trustee have an addition or deletion to tonight's agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on to the citizen comment portion of our meeting where we open the meeting up to the public. I see there is no one here to address the board, so I'll close this portion of the meeting and move on to consideration and action on agenda items, first with an explanation of the omnibus voting procedure. The Illinois state statutes allow a municipality to collectively vote on a group of ordinances, resolutions, and other motions, such as awards of contract, appointments, etc. This is known as an omnibus vote. All the items contained on the omnibus vote list have been previously discussed by the President and the Board of Trustees on at least one occasion, and often on several occasions. By placing them on the omnibus vote list, a single vote may be taken to approve them. A trustee may remove any item from the list and have it discussed and voted on separately prior to the omnibus vote. Is there any such request? Hearing none, I'll turn the floor over to Trustee Terrell.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the following ordinances, resolutions, and motions as contained on the meeting agenda for January 23rd, 2023 be adopted and/or approved under an omnibus vote. Agenda item number 1, approval of the meeting minutes of December 19th, 2022 and January 9th, 2023 as read. Agenda item number 2, ordinance number 23-3115, approving and authorizing the execution of change order number 1 relative to the Spring Rock Water Main Improvements Project, additional main replacement, entered into with Kane County Excavating and authorizing the expenditure of additional village funds to pay for the change order work. Agenda item number 3, ordinance 23-3116, amending Title 7, Motor Vehicles and Traffic, Chapter 4, Traffic Schedule, Schedule 4, Stop Streets of the Western Springs Municipal Code, authorizing the placement of 2 additional stop signs at the Hillgrove Avenue and Prospect Avenue intersection to create a 3-way stop intersection. Agenda item number 4, ordinance number 23-3117, amending Title 3, Business Regulations and Title 4, Liquor Control of the Western Springs Municipal Code relative to the creation of a Class Q wine tasting and retail wine sales by the bottle, on-site consumption, liquor license, and related regulations. Agenda item number 5, ordinance number 23-3118, authorizing the disposal of surplus personal property owned by the Village of Western Springs, a 2013 Ford Escape vehicle. Agenda item number 6, ordinance number 23-3119, approving and authorizing the execution of change order number 2 to local public agency agreement for federal participation entered into with the Illinois Department of Transportation and intergovernmental funding agreement with the Commuter Rail Division of the Regional Transportation Authority, METRA, for the West Pedestrian Underpass Project and a project extension letter with Cook County, Illinois, extending the project completion date from December 31st, 2022 to December 31st, 2023, extension of project completion date by more than 30 days. Agenda item number 7, resolution number 23-2713, granting a Section 8 waiver under the Local Government Professional Services Selection Act for purposes of approving and authorizing the execution of a professional services agreement with Robinson Engineering Limited for delivery of training and education services relating to sewer pipe televising and data analyzation, project fee not to exceed $20,450. Agenda item number 8, resolution number 23-2714, authorizing the approval and execution of amendment number 1 to the Local Public Agency Joint Funding Agreement for federal participation for the West Underpass project entered into with the Illinois Department of Transportation. Agenda item number 9, Resolution 23-2715, in support of tax incremental financing, IMLL form. Agenda item number 10, motion to waive the competitive bidding process and renew a contract with Murphy Construction Services, LLC for the 2023 sidewalk shaving program at $19.95 per inch foot in an amount not to exceed $20,000. Note 2021 contract was competitively bid.
Thank you. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second.
Any discussion, questions, comments on these items? Hearing none, Clerk Tim McMay, we have the roll call vote, please.
Yes, President Gallagher. Trustee Chen.
Aye.
Trustee Fink.
Aye.
Trustee John.
Aye.
Trustee Lewis.
Aye.
Trustee Rudolph.
Aye.
Trustee Hero.
Aye.
President Gallagher.
Aye.
The ordinances, resolutions, and motions contained in the agenda of January 23rd, 2023 are hereby adopted and or approved.
Thank you. Under other tonight, we have 2 reports. First, the capital plan update. Deputy Village Manager Bernanke.
Thank you, President Gallagher. I have 2 quick updates. Well, one's quick, one's not so quick on the capital plan tonight. First, I'll just chat about the timeline and give you an update on where we are with that project. And then second, I'd like to premiere our public video for you this evening. It's what we hope to push out to the public this week, and it is something we're very proud of. So timeline-wise, Baxter and Woodman is full bore into the analysis piece of the project. It's really the meat of the project, which is analyzing all of our infrastructure categories and their needs. Originally, we planned a 30% report for the Infrastructure Commission at the beginning of 2023, but the good news, it became pretty apparent as we moved through January that they're actually quickly approaching 60% completion with the analysis. There's a lot going on in the analysis that requires them to really push later in their milestones than they originally anticipated. So it's looking right now that 60% will be sometime around April or May for completion. We do want to have a meeting with the Infrastructure Commission in February still to really review the risk assessment process. We thought it beneficial to look at how they're doing their assessment and get that through the public process. So there's really a fine, a good description on how they're really going to prioritize these projects and all the infrastructure as a whole. So we hope to have that meeting in February, and then in April and May bring back the 60% completion through the Infrastructure Commission again. That will be the full risk assessment, and it'll outline the high priority areas throughout the entire community for all infrastructure categories. 90% still looking like the later in the summer, late summer, early fall, and that will yield the full project list, cost estimates, the whole deal. But that's going to take a little bit more time, and in between we'll have a lot of opportunities for public involvement. You'll see one at the end of this video itself. So that the public can get involved as well. So I'd like to premiere the video for you. It's 11 minutes long, and that's the long video. We have a shorter video. It's a snippet of that, about 2.5 minutes. You know, we understand 11 minutes, it's very long in terms of internet videos nowadays. It is for me, and I'm sure it is for many. So the shorter video is something we have as well to try to hook in the audience and at least get the information out there that we really want to, which is what is the project and how can they participate. But the 11-minute video is what we're going to show tonight because it's got a lot of really good information in it. So unless anyone has any other questions, I'd like to show it for you now.
Any questions? Please do.
Of course.
The 11-minute video that'll take 15.
That's right.
That's okay.
Ms. Gallagher, President of the Village of Western Springs Board of Trustees. In 2021, the Village of Western Springs Board of Trustees reviewed all identified and unfunded capital projects. These projects totaled approximately $50 million, including $30 million associated with stormwater management. The Village Board made a decision to pursue a comprehensive plan to provide a complete understanding of the village's infrastructure needs and funding options in the form of a capital infrastructure plan. The Village of Western Springs is limited in its ability to generate a long-term dedicated funding source to assist in financing infrastructure projects. The village continues to seek consistent funding options, many of which may require approval through a referendum vote. The Capital Infrastructure Plan will be a comprehensive review of all village infrastructure to estimate costs, prioritize projects, and village staff will then need to advance a long-term financial strategy to address the needs of the community. Capital projects are identified as projects that improve the village's infrastructure. Infrastructure categories include, but are not limited to, roadways and sidewalks, water distribution systems, storm and sanitary sewers, street lighting, fiber optic network, municipal buildings and properties, the Central Business District, and streetscape. The Capital Infrastructure Plan will focus on a risk assessment for each infrastructure item, sustainability, grant funding opportunities, and public involvement. The village's water plant will be reviewed in a separate future study. Civil engineering firm Baxter & Woodman was hired to assist in the development of the Capital Infrastructure Plan. Baxter & Woodman will complete an engineering-based risk assessment for all categories of infrastructure using the village's existing studies, geographic information systems, or GIS data, public input, and best management practices. The Baxter & Woodman team has begun their analysis, and the final plan is expected to be presented to the Village Board in 2023. Here's how it will work.
Engineers and village staff will evaluate the current conditions for each of the village's key infrastructure categories. The team will rate the risk of failure for the village's infrastructure on a scale of 0 to 100. The risk of failure is a combination of the likelihood of failure and the consequence of failure. The higher the score, the greater the importance of the project. The goal is to coordinate projects in such a way that makes the best use of available funds, combines projects in a similar area, limits the disruptions to residents, and provides a roadmap for future decisions. Utilizing this study, the village can prioritize projects to reduce and minimize risk and maximize benefit when budgeting for upcoming projects. This video shares insight into the evaluation process and provides the first of 3 opportunities for residents to share their feedback as the plan is established this year. Please help us by taking the short survey at the end of this video. The roadway evaluation team will analyze the village's 120 miles of roadway and sidewalk infrastructure. In order to generate a risk of failure score, the engineers will combine the pavement condition with the following additional considerations: pavement age, average daily traffic or ADT, proximity to commuter facilities, and the need for utility improvements in the same location. The preliminary evaluation involves a short-term goal of resurfacing or reconstructing streets that have the highest risk score in the next 3 to 5 years. The water team will evaluate the extensive network of pipes beneath the roadways that serves the residents of Western Springs. The village treats water from 3 deep wells through the reverse osmosis water treatment plant, then distributes that water throughout the community in the underground network of pipes called water mains. The current system contains approximately 52 miles of water mains, some of which have been in use since 1922. While the water system currently meets all the IEPA regulations, it is aging and requires more frequent maintenance. As water systems age, the pipes throughout the system leak and break, which can result in the loss of water pressure and a decrease in water quality. The water system needs to be continually evaluated in order to maintain an adequate level of service. Using the existing information, the Baxter and Woodman team will identify the system's age, types of pipe material, water main break frequency, and soil conditions to determine a likelihood of failure score. In addition to this data, the final project score will also measure the impact to customers and possible impacts on pressure and fire flow. In addition to evaluating the water system, the team will evaluate the sanitary and storm sewers, which often run parallel to the water system under the roadways. The village owns and maintains 75 miles of sewer pipes that convey wastewater and stormwater. The system is a large network of pipes, manholes, inlets, outfalls, and other underground infrastructure. Sanitary sewers take the wastewater from toilets and sinks to the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District or the MWRD wastewater treatment plant. Storm sewers move rainwater away from the streets and homes, primarily discharged into nearby waterways. During large rain events, storm sewers can reach capacity and surcharge back onto the roadway. In general, all areas of Western Springs south of 47th Street are comprised of separated sanitary and storm sewers. The village also has pipes called combined sewers in most of the community north of 47th Street. Combined sewers carry wastewater from homes and businesses as well as storm water within a single pipe. All water within combined sewer systems leaves Western Springs and travels to the MWRD wastewater treatment plant for treatment. Portions of the system that do not meet the current needs may result in local drainage issues, flooding damage, and restricted access for transportation and emergency services. The Baxter and Woodman team will use data to evaluate the likelihood of failure by analyzing the age and types of pipe material in the ground, along with records of past pipe failures. The final scores will be compared and prioritized with other infrastructure needs. The street lighting network currently consists of 485 total street lights with a variety of different street light types illuminating the streets of Western Springs. The goal is to recommend any hardware improvements that may provide more efficient energy usage and consider any other system changes that may streamline maintenance or reduce energy costs. A fiber optic network presents an opportunity for the village to improve connectivity. The village of Western Springs has a fiber backbone along Grand Avenue, Hillgrove Avenue, and Burlington Avenue, which connects all major village facilities, such as the Thomas Ford Library, the District 101 school system, Lyons Township High School, and the Lyons Township Area Communication Center, or LTAC, Joint Dispatch Facility. The Baxter and Woodman team will be working with the village's IT department to evaluate the current network architecture and will recommend options to harden the future communication infrastructure. As with all other infrastructure categories, the projects will be scored on a 0 to 100 basis, and the resulting projects evaluated and prioritized. Williams Architects, along with their team of engineers, will lead a facility assessment review for the following 7 village buildings, with the water building excluded from this review. Those buildings are the Village Hall and Police Station, Fire Station 1, Fire Station 2, the Public Works Garage, the Grand Avenue Community Center, the Recreation Center, and the Historic Water Tower. The Williams team will evaluate the current conditions of each building in terms of exterior envelope, which includes walls, doors, windows, and roofing, interior components, which includes flooring, walls, ceiling, built-in casework, and furniture, ADA accessibility, building structure, site components, mechanical systems, electrical and lighting systems, plumbing, and fire protection systems. Using a risk assessment technique similar to the other categories of infrastructure, the Williams team will arrive at a rating score. The resulting projects will be compared and contrasted with the other infrastructure to determine their order of importance.
The village continues to prioritize the maintenance of an aging infrastructure system that serves the community, and we want to hear from you. The village website has a link to a survey that will allow you to share your feedback regarding the existing infrastructure. To complete the survey, visit wsprings.com. It will take less than 5 minutes and allows you to provide valuable information to the evaluation team. We look forward to hearing from you.
Very well done.
The Baxter movement did a nice job.
Oh, the lights, yeah. So that's it. So yeah, that's the 11-minute version. The shorter version is really anytime you heard President Gallagher speak, the beginning and the end. Those are kind of cut together for the 2.5-minute small piece. So any questions, I'm happy to take them, or feedback for the Baxter team, I'm happy to take that too.
I thought it was great.
Great.
Very good.
Really, I thought it was really, really informative.
Yes.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, we feel like we will use it not only for this project, but for quite some time. There's pieces in there that are really beneficial, just in our day-to-day conversations with residents. So we're very happy with it too.
I agree. It helps explain a lot of things that most 95% of the residents don't understand.
Water mains.
The water mains,
Sewer.
yeah.
A lot of miles of stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
it's great. Yeah.
So how do we get this out there?
Yeah, so we're going to push it out every way you can imagine. We'll start obviously online with the website and social media, and then we'll send it out to some of our resident groups that we know are pretty active, HOAs. I think we're thinking about asking the businesses to maybe post a QR code, especially for the survey, just a survey link and maybe even the short video, just to get people looking at it. So it'll be on Tower Topics. It'll be everywhere we can push it, and we'll certainly continue to do so for quite some time. The survey is going to stay open for a while, probably well through the 60% completion. Quite frankly, probably until the 90% at least. So as much as we can collect, we will take.
Within that survey, we'll be asking for locations. So if someone comes on the survey and they complain about something, or they have a suggestion about something, they can actually tell us where they live so that we know the rough area of the issue. And then, as Deputy Manager Bernanke said, we hope to get out to some of the groups that we know are interested. Our staff meets very regularly with the folks from several neighborhoods who've been impacted by stormwater issues and other things. So those are great groups who we know are interested in this and will want to give feedback. But then we also have groups like the Garden Club, who is very large, or a few other groups that already exist in town that might be willing to host us to come in and show the video and then encourage them to take the survey. So thank you to Deputy Manager Bernanke and the whole team that worked on this. Our communications manager, Selman Chichek, has been very involved in this as well. So it really was a nice group effort.
Yeah.
The Baxter team has been wonderful with this. As you can see, they put a lot into this. And
Yeah.
thank you to President Gallagher for coming in and doing all of our front end on it. It was really nice. Thank you.
It was fun. But yeah, I do want to thank Deputy Manager Bernanke as well as Selman Chichek and the Baxter and Woodman team. You guys, I know you put a lot of hours into it, and it shows. It's very comprehensive and very professional.
Oh, thank you.
The village looks so nice and sunny, and the trees are so green. I'm like, where's that Western Spring? I haven't seen it for a couple of weeks, but it looks so great. It looks so great.
Computer generated.
We picked a good day in October. It would have been bad if we picked a December day, that's for sure.
Yes.
We're out here on a lovely day, yeah.
Is that special, like drone
Yeah.
acceptance, because we're in the drone area, right? Is that-
Yeah, it was a commercial drone licensed pilot, so he was here from the Baxter team. Used to be in the Air Force.
I
Yeah,
see.
so he has a commercial license, so he can fly it.
Nice.
Huh.
Very nice.
I did like, especially the breaking down with the water and the sewer.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Agreed.
people are always asking me, why is this water main now by our village? I mean, just
Yeah.
kind of explain, we have what, 52 miles of water and 75 of sewer, kind of put it in perspective.
Yeah. And then you had another item, Casey?
Yes, I have the stormwater utility fee item, which is not as exciting. I don't have a video for this one yet, but so just an update for the village board. After the proposed fee schedule was reviewed by you all in December, we began to push that information out back to the residents and to our stakeholders. So we had an article in the recent Tower Topics that outlined the fee schedule. We also contacted some of our larger non-residential stakeholders, as well as some of our residential groups. We had a couple meetings with some HOAs in between our January meeting and our December meeting and now, and we were able to provide them a better estimate of what their costs would be after we've finalized that fee structure. So we just wanted to give you an update that some of those meetings has happened. We've had a lot of conversations with residents since those Tower Topic articles have come out, and they've all been very good conversations. We do hope to have an ordinance in front of you potentially as early as February for review. The ordinance is really what would solidify the fee in the municipal code, and it outlines a lot of the specifics of what the fee is and how ongoing maintenance of the fee would be from a staff perspective. We also have an interactive map that's going to go live this week. It's very similar to the GIS map that Director Super might have showed you previously about the urban forestry management plan. It's basically a Google map that is interactive. It allows you to search your address. It'll show you the impervious area that's calculated for your address, your entire property parcel, and what that impervious area square footage is, and then what tier you sit in from our records. It's useful for two reasons. One, it lets residents look directly at their home and see what's being measured. But it also allows residents to contact us and let us know if there is something that's being counted that shouldn't be, or something that is not being counted that needs to be. Some of the aerial data we have it's from 2021, so things have changed a little bit over the last year. So we will rely a little bit on resident feedback for some of that, and then our building process will catch the rest as building permits come in. We'll be able to update the impervious areas for residents as those come in for new development. So that interactive map will be live by the end of this week. We're working on a couple specifics, but it's pretty much ready to go. And then lastly, we're working with our billing software consultant to finalize and implement the new fee into our billing system. That process is going to take us a little longer. It's a little more complicated, but if the ordinance is something that the village board decides to approve, we do hope to have the fee ready to go by the middle of the year. That's where we're aiming right now. And that's all I have for that, so if you have any questions, I'm happy to take them.
Any questions? All right, well, thank you. Thanks for those updates. Appreciate them. We'll move on now to our report section of tonight's meeting. First up is the monthly financial report from Trustee Rudolph.
President Gallagher. Yes, I'm reporting out here on the December 2022 month-end results. First, the general fund. We ended with a deficit on a cash basis, but with the adjustments from our conversion to modified accrual in the 13th period, that will change a little bit. As we've mentioned in the past, I think many times a contributing factor to that deficit was the 2021 property tax collection. Disbursements of those taxes, they did begin in December, and they're continuing into this month. So that's the positive on that, just the timing got off. So that's how the financials looked with that December result. The LGDF collection in December was approximately 20% higher than the same period last year. The village exceeded its budgeted amount by about 33% for the year, which is consistent with projections that we've gotten from IML on that. Also, the sales tax also continued to exceed projections, and that exceeded the projections by about 18%. Building permit fees also exceeded our budget collections. So So quite a few areas of good news. I think as you drive around town, you see there's quite a bit of building going on. Sense. The second fund is the water and sewer fund. The consumption bill in December was about 29% lower than the same period in 2021. The annual consumption in 2022 was just 1.2% lower than 2021. So it's kind of interesting to see how that tends to even out. And then the last fund that I typically report on is the police pension fund. But the IPO, PIF statements are not yet available. Those do lag by a month. So we'll report out on the December year end in next month's report. Any questions? If not, I'll make a motion to approve the December financial reports as read.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any comments or questions? Okay, hearing none. May we have the roll call vote, please, Clerk Timick?
Yes, President Gallagher. Trustee Chen.
Aye.
Trustee Fink.
Aye.
Trustee John.
Aye.
Trustee Carroll.
Aye.
Trustee Lewis.
Aye.
Trustee Rudolph.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. For my report, I just have a few dates for 2023 that you might be interested in attending. The first one is coming up on February 4th. That's the WCMC's legislative breakfast. That's in Elmwood Park from 8:30 to 11. Please let Elaine know if you're interested in going, and she'll get you signed up. The next one is the DuPage Mayors and Managers Conference Springfield Drive Down. As you know, we're now associate members of that conference, and they coordinate with the Illinois Municipal League Lobby Day for the Springfield Drive Down. So that is April 19th to 20th of this month. And again, please let Elaine or Ellen or me know. And then the WCMC has their own separate drive down to Springfield. That is May 2nd to 3rd of this year. I think we haven't really solidified it, but I think we'll be going to both. I think I'll be going to both. So depending on your availability, you're welcome to go to both or one. It's usually a very interesting trip. And finally, the WCMC is resuming its trip to Washington, D.C. this fall. So that's going to take place the first week of October. I think it's October 4th and 5th, but I think they're still kind of ironing that out as well. So those are all the dates I have, and that's my report. Manager Bear?
I just have one thing I wanted to remind everyone that we have one more week to do the holiday light recycling. If anyone has holiday lights they need to dispose of, the Green Team and the Village are collecting lights at various locations, and the information is on our webpage. No other report.
All right, thank you. Attorney Drusik, do you have a report?
Not tonight.
Okay. In that case, may I have a motion to recess to our closed meeting?
Yes, that would be my motion to recess to a closed meeting for the purpose of discussion of, number one, probable or imminent litigation pursuant to 5 Illinois Compiled Statute 120/2C11, and number two, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint pursuant to 5 Illinois Compiled Statute 120/2C1.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
May I have the roll call vote, please, Clerk Timick?
Yes, President Gallagher. Trustee Chen.
Aye.
Trustee Fink.
Aye.
Trustee John.
Aye.
Trustee Lewis.
Aye.
Trustee Rudolph.
Aye.
Trustee Carroll.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in closed session. We will reconvene to open session, but no further action will be taken except to adjourn our meeting. So thank you for attending. Good evening.
Are you available for public comment?
Hi, Marcia.
On February 7th.
How are you?
She said-
Thanks for coming out.